We have probably just under $1 million in debt, and we want to know how to get debt-free without filing bankruptcy.
Okay. How much of that is a mortgage?
The mortgage, about $210,000.
So you have $600,000 in what?
$335,000 is about in student loans. We both have advanced degrees, and then the rest is really credit cards and personal loans.
So you have $300,000 of credit cards and personal loans?
We have about $335,000 in student loans and about $136,000 in credit cards, $44,000 personal loans, and $35,000 car loans.
Okay.
So, how the hell does a couple making $300,000 a year rack up $1 million in debt? That's a good question. I reached out to the financial samurai, who's the author of the blog about a couple making $500,000 a year and still struggling. It was picked up by CNBC and went viral. Here's what he had to say.
Scraping by on $500,000 a year, why it's so hard for high income earners to escape the rat race, from our guest, financialsamurai.com. So were you surprised that this particular story went viral? I mean, when you were pinning this, when you were air keyboarding it, were you like, this is a good one, this is a winner? Or were you like, did you go to sleep? Because this always happens to me. It's never the tweet I expect to go viral, and then I wake up, it's like 20 plus, and the first thing I do is check my work phone and make sure there's not an email that also coincides with the viral tweet that says, please come into the office. We're always worried about viral on Friday, laid off on Monday. So after I check that, I go back and see what tweet people are looking at. Was this your experience, or did you know it took off and you were prepared for it?
So I wrote this post a year and a half ago. 2 years ago. Yeah, so I didn't write it in 2017. Well, so what happens if you're a good strategy as a blogger is to write evergreen content. And you write evergreen content because, one, it's relatable across a longer period of time, right? Instead of saying, hey, Netflix had great first quarter 2017 results, blah, 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 which lasts for, let's say, one day. Let's say instead you write about, Netflix, the history of online streaming or something, right? So that's an evergreen type content that can last forever. So you want to, as a blogger, write about stuff that can be pertinent for as long of the time as possible, and you want to go and update it for the latest information. And so I wrote it a year and a half ago. I updated stuff every year just to keep things current. And so I linked back to the article. From another new article that I wrote. And then someone probably just clicked that link, saw it. The guy's name was Downtown Josh Brown. And then he tweeted the chart and he linked back to my article. And that's how it started going. And I didn't expect it to go crazy, but when I published that article a year and a half ago, it received a lot of fanfare already, but not like now, believe it or not. So I had no idea it was going crazy on Facebook. But like the tweet count is like, I don't know, 50,000 or something. So to me, I thought Twitter was even more crazy, but I guess it was crazy on Facebook too. That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm completely flabbergasted here, but I'll try to get back on script. So from I kind of pulled out some of your comments, and now I'm not sure if these are new or old, but we can speak to them.
The
so
comments have dates.
Okay. Oh, okay. Making money as a W-2 wage is the worst way to go. Society won't acknowledge it, the sacrifices you make, the time and money you spent, and the risks you took to get to your position today. I think we've spoken a little bit about this earlier. Do you have any additional or new insights, or that's still solid?
Yeah, I mean, everything is kind of rational in my mind. If you work harder, generally you'll do a little better than the person who doesn't work harder, right? We all know, I mean, ever since high school, the guy who's studying 6 hours a night is probably going to get better grades than the guy who's smoking cigarettes with his friend in the backseat of a car somewhere, right? And so, like, to get to, let's say, doctor level income, you got to be a doctor first. You got to study your butt off in high school and in college, and then you got to do 4 years of residency or something like that, 3 years of residency, and then sometimes you got to do specialty stuff. And then only then might you make like 200,000 when you're 32 years old after 10 years of school and $200,000 in debt, right? Good luck. If anybody wants to make that kind of money, just be a doctor, no problem. Or if anybody wants to make, the big law corporate money where you start at 160,000 at, I think, 28 years old, you can be a lawyer if you want, go ahead. But that's 3 years of $70,000 a year tuition. You're trying to get the top LSAT scores and everything, and you're just gonna kill yourself 80 hours a week. So what happens is we have a mental shortcut to say, oh, you make $300,000 or you make $500,000, your household life is good. So I wanted to really break down how that $500,000 can be spent. And, there's a lot of taxes involved, right?
Oh,
the more you make, there's more taxes, right? And that's kind of like I want to tell people, hey, you may not want to work so hard and make so much because you're just going to kill yourself and pay all these taxes as a W-2 earner. And then just kind of break it down further. And these are all real expenses that have been corroborated by hundreds and hundreds of people who make similar types of income.
So can you, I think I follow that, and it might help for us to expand on that a little bit. So when you say W-2 earner, you're saying a traditional 9 to 5,
Exactly.
And this is an open-ended question, as in comparison to the passive income or multiple income streams.
Yeah, so there's a lot of income streams that are not subject to like the FICA, Social Security, Medicare tax, i.e. dividend income. And then there's a lot of income like entrepreneurial income or freelance income like 1099, and then entrepreneurial income. So think about, let's say Amazon. They lose billions of dollars. They lose money all the time, but now they're like the second most valuable company in the world. Uber is, I don't know what's the latest, 60 to 70 billion valuation, but they lose like, 1 or 2 billion every year. So they're not paying any taxes, right? If you're losing money, you're not paying taxes, but their wealth is growing massive. That's the idea of kind of trying to make money not through wages because you get taxed out the wazoo, but every which way else but wages. And most people don't realize that because most people just work wage jobs, right? Let's say you get to go to work at a leisurely time, like 8 a.m., right? And you leave at 5. So you're home hopefully by 6. Man, you have so much time. You have from 6 p.m. until 7 a.m. to do a hell of a lot of stuff. 5. So you got 12 hours to do whatever you want. So let's take 6 hours for sleep. That's 6 hours left, and then 2 hours for doing nothing. So you got 4 hours. You got 4 hours to do something awesome, some side hustle, build your brand online. Everybody should have their own website, first of all, to have their brand. Why let Facebook or Twitter get rich off your brand? Why don't you just get rich off your own brand, right? And you have so much stuff you can do in 3 to 4 hours every single day. And if you find something that you like to do, man, it doesn't feel like work at all. So, but think about it. What do most people do after they get off work? They watch TV, they watch Netflix. Yeah, of course. Spend time with their family and all that. But then even if you have family and kids, the kids are not going to sleep past 10 p.m. You can go from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Amazing time to do some great work.
Life may begin at 40, but according to a number of studies, you'll plateau at 45. And so even if let's say I'm going to work a 9 to 5 and I'm just going to do that and that's all I want to do. It was just crazy to me how quickly you would maximize your income in most careers. 90% of lifetime earners see their earnings decline as a group after age 45, as far as wage growth goes.
So that's actually good to know, because then you'll be like, oh crap, this is it. So I need some side rocket boosters to keep that income going, right? I did write a post a while ago called "Over the Hill at 40," age discrimination in the workplace, and it's interesting because I wrote that when I was 31, 32, and now I'm 40 this year, and it's really true in the sense. The reason why it's true is because I had to go to these diversity and age discrimination training every year, so I wouldn't have to do that if it wasn't true. But now that I'm 40, I'm like, man, I just want to kick back. 25 hours of fun time a week, like stimulate the mind, and that's it. I want to go play tennis, work out, go to the movies, eat, relax, spend time with family. I don't want to work 60 to 80 hours a week like I did in my 20s anymore. Hell no. And that's probably what a lot of people feel like as they get older. It's really natural and it's logical. And that's why there's like this discrimination in the workforce, And they just want a hungry guy, the kid who's like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, I'll do anything you want, whatever you want. Yes, sir, thank you.